Hi guys, today we are going to be doing part 2 of trying to play with some makeup and murder stuff, and today I want to focus on the, loose pigments here. In yesterday's video that I filmed yesterday, which is not yesterday for you, but in my previous video, that was part 1 of this, I used the eyeshadow palettes. I will have that linked up in the corner, but this is what they look like, and I had a really good time with these. Honestly, I was so impressed by the quality of these shadows that I'm really interested in trying out some of these pigments. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out of the packaging. I just wanted to show it to you in case you haven't seen these, but this is obviously like a crime scene related makeup brand, and I just think that that is so cool that that is where they take their inspiration from. So let me just go ahead and like open these things up. Okay, so they are all open on the table in front of me. I'm so excited about this. So I will show you like the bottles up close so you can kind of see what they look like. So here you can see that the labels on the pastel ones, like the blue one here has like a pastel-y cap on the outside, not cap, but like sticker here. And then the neon ones has the kind of orange and red sticker. So it's an easy way to kind of tell them apart. And here is what the bottles look like. Obviously you have this little foam silicone-y thing that you kind of take out. It's almost like opening a wine bottle in a way. So this is how they come. Obviously these are going to be extremely messy, so probably not the best idea for me to swatch these as much as I would like to. Also with neon pigments like this, since they don't have any binders in them, it's literally impossible to swatch them like you would with normal eyeshadows. Like I would have to put down some kind of a very sticky primer and swatch them on top. And I don't really see the point in doing that because you might as well just look at like the stenciled swatches on their Instagram or something like that, because the swatches of these aren't really going to be a representation on how they apply on the eyes anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by priming, and while I do that, I will kind of think of what kind of look I want to do with these. I do want to try out as many of these as possible, but I don't really know how doable that's going to be in like the execution, because pigments are extremely hard to work with, especially neons. I will say that like shimmer pigments are a way different story because you can just spray those and they'll stick to your eyes, but pigments like this I've always had a really hard time working with, so I don't really know how this is going to go. So basically my experience with loose pigments is that you cannot blend pigments into each other very easily, which means that you can't do a transition shade and then build something else on top because these don't build. So the best way to use these is definitely as like accent piece to another look with other shadows, or just simply use them on their own. You can also use them if you mix a little bit of this with like Duraline, and you can use them as eyeliners and use them wet. That also works. So I'm thinking I want to use maybe 2 of these like on my lid and then use one as an eyeliner or something like that. Maybe I'll do like a 2-tone eye so I can test out a little bit more of the colors. So I'm thinking the pigments that I want to use are 2 of the pastels here. So I want to take these 2. I don't know if they have any names on them. Doesn't look like it. So I'm going to use the coral one and the purple one. So I'm going to first go ahead and prime my eyes with this. Actually, you know what? Let's try out some of this tape that I have as well. This is called the Makeup and Murder Crime Scene Cosmetics Eyeshadow Tape. I've never used anything like this before, so I don't know how this is going to lay on top of my foundation and stuff, but I thought since I have it here, we might as well try it because that could just be kind of fun, you know? So I'm going to put this on before I prime my eyes. Maybe I took too big of a piece here, but I'm going to try to aim this the way that I want it to be out in the outer corner. So let's try something like this. I definitely took way too much tape. Let me cut a little bit of this off here. So I like that this tape doesn't have as much stick to it as like regular tape, but I find this kind of tape to be extremely uncomfortable, so I'm just not going to use it. I'm just not a tape kind of person, you guys. I don't know. I just can't do it. Like, I've tried so many times, and I just find them to be so uncomfortable, so we're just gonna skip that, but I did try it, and I think that if you are a tape person, you will really like this because you don't have to kind of get the stick of a regular tape and like put it on your hand and stuff. You can just put it straight on your face and it'll be great. But I'm just going to go ahead and prime my eyes with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, and I'm going to be quite heavy-handed with this today and make sure that I have enough of this on my eyelids so that it's nice and tacky, because all of these pigments are going to need a lot of help to just have like a base to hold on to here. So I'm making sure to kind of pull this out quite a bit because I know I want this to be sort of a winged out kind of graphic look is I think what I'm going for, and then I'm going to do a liner with a different color on both eyes so that we can test out at least 4 of these pigments. I think that's going to be the plan. Maybe I'll be able to pull in a 5th with something in my inner corner. I don't really know yet. We're just gonna have to take it as it goes and see where we end up with this. So let's see how much of a mess I'm going to make now. I think what I'm going to do is, should I pour this out on something or should I just like put my brush into this? I think I'll just put my brush into this and see what happens. Now I know that they have different containers on their website if you want like other things to put these in. I will have a picture up on the screen because I have heard a lot of people complain about these being, wow, extremely messy, which I can totally see why, because these are kind of getting everywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and find a bit of a kind of flat brush that will fit nicely into this jar. So I think I'm just gonna take my MAC 242 brush here and just put into my jar of eyeshadow. So it's definitely picking up quite a bit and I'm trying to tap this off here. It is kind of hard to try to get the brush into here and like only coat one side of the brush. Like it is definitely extremely messy, but I'm gonna try my best. I'll probably get a ton of fallout and I've already done my base, but let's just go ahead and try this. So I'm basically just going to pack this pigment all over my lid as well as I can here. I don't know. Oh god, I'm having so much fallout already. This is not going to be a good makeup day. Okay, I need to find a better way to do this because I'm making a complete mess. The good thing about the pigments though, like I said, is that they don't have any binders, so they're not going to stick to your face because of that. So it should be pretty easy to clean off. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my, this is just like a foundation mixer sheet, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this pigment onto the sheet because I think that's going to be a much easier way to do this. So now I can at least pick up the pigment on the brush on just one side instead of both. So let me go ahead and keep on with this until I'm happy. So I'm just gonna make this in a bit of a graphic shape here, and then maybe I'll try to blend the edges just a little bit after I'm done. But I definitely think that this is the way to do it, like application wise, is just to dump out a little bit on to a piece of paper or something, or whatever it is that you have that you can dump it out onto. But that is laying down really nicely, and I've had really bad experiences with purple pigments in the past and that they get really patchy and stuff, but I feel like this is looking very nice so far. So I'm gonna just blend ever so slightly with the edge of my brush here. I'm using my MAC 242 brush. I don't know if I said that, but I love this brush for just packing on colors on my lid. And I'm not going to put any of this on my lower lash line simply because, like I said before, it's not going to stick unless I put down a primer. And I just don't feel like putting down a primer on my lower lash line today. So I'm just gonna keep all of the eyeshadow on my top lid here and just kind of play with it that way. So I think that is looking really, really nice. Now, obviously the issue is that I still have a bunch of pigment on my plate here, so I'm gonna try to dump it back into my container. I mean, I just don't think that this is like the best system for storing pigments in. Like, I get it, like the containers are super cute, and it hurts me to say that, but it's kind of hard to work with, you know? So I'm next gonna go ahead and open the coral one, and I'm going to dump that onto my little metal thing here as well and do the same thing because that was definitely a much easier way to do this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. I wanna make sure I don't have any creases here because this is a matte and it's going to end up looking creasy on my eye if it's like that. So just gonna go ahead and pack this on just like I did on the other eye, and this is a beautiful color. I do wonder how this is going to really lay down. If I can get this to be really nice and opaque, I think this is going to be like one of my favorite colors because this is so unique to my collection. I don't think I have a color like this even in an eyeshadow palette. Like, if you want me to do some swatches with these, I can probably do it as like an overhead shot video. That will be the best way for me to be able to show, you know, swatches of these pigments, because otherwise it's just impossible to like do it on my arm and still be able to show it. So if you want to see that, do let me know. But this is such a beautiful color. I love this. I think that I should have primed just one eye at a time here to make sure that this base was still nice and tacky, because I feel like it's dried maybe a little bit. But I mean, the color is still hanging on, but I can definitely see that my primer was a little drier on this side because it's just not sticking as well. And I know that has nothing to do with the pigment because the pigment is great. But I think that these colors are so fun. I mean, I don't have anything like this in my collection, which is why I was so happy when they said they wanted to send me these, because it's something that adds something to my collection that isn't something I already own. So I think what I'm gonna do is maybe I'll pop something in my inner corner as well. Like, could that be kind of fun? I just don't know if I have any colors that are going to, ooh, that would be so pretty. Would that be crazy? Maybe I'll take a little bit of this. Like, can you tell I'm the most interested in the pastel pigments because I just don't have anything like that. So maybe I'll take a little bit more of my eyeshadow primer here and to just put that in the inner corner and then pop a little bit of this, is this like a turquoise I get, or like a mint? It's probably more like a mint. So I want to do that. I want to put a little bit of that in my inner corner. And don't worry, we're not done after this because I still have a lot of plans for these because there are so many things that I just want to try. So I'm just taking a bit more of my eyeshadow base here, like I said. And I'm going to go ahead and just gently blend this out with a brush here. Just pat it out a little bit. Still want to make sure that I have plenty left and that it is nice and tacky. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this mint pigment, which again, I need to pour some of this out here. And I'm just going to use the same brush and just pop a little bit of that right into my inner corner. Oh, that is so cute. I love this. Okay, so something else that I want to do with this is I think I want to take the same pigments that I used on my lid here, and I want to mix a little bit of both colors with Duraline, and then I want to make little dots. So on this eye, I want to just in my crease here make little dots of this color, and then on this eye, I want to make little dots of this color. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up a little bit of these. I do need to pour out a little bit more of this now. So here's what my little plate looks like. Hopefully that will focus. That would be nice. Can you focus, please? So I'm going to take a little bit of Duraline, which is a mixing medium from Ringlight. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to take a little bit of this, just like a few drops into each color, and then I'm going to mix it around and make it into a bit of a paste. And then I'm going to use that as sort of a, it's going to turn into like sort of a gel eyeliner, which is really cool. And I'm just going to mix that up using a brush here. It's really hard for me to show what I'm doing because obviously I can't like show this up against the camera because it's going to fall everywhere. But basically I have a bit of a paste now, which is going to look something like this. And I'm going to take that on a small eyeliner brush. I don't know how this is going to go. I mean, I've never really tried this before, so you're going to be trying it with me for the first time. I just need to find the right eyeliner brush to do this with. It needs to be kind of like a stiff one. So let's go ahead and try to make some dots on this side here. Oh my, that's so cool. Oh my god. Okay, I love this already. So I'm gonna make sure I do these like so you can see them when my eyes are open here. And I just want to make them like just above my crease. I feel like I put them down a little bit too low. I don't know. We're just gonna try it and see what happens. Now what I should have done is I should have used one of my nail dotting tools, and I don't know why I didn't think of that until now, because that would have actually made like nice circles instead of just me trying to make dots with a brush, which is not the best idea, but I still think this is going to look kind of cool. So I'm going to wait for this to dry a little bit, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but with the purple shadow on top of the coral. So I definitely completely messed up with the placement of these, because you can see when I'm looking straight ahead that they're kind of getting buried like right in my crease there, which is not the best look. So just ignore that. We're just testing out the quality of these pigments. I know this look is kind of crazy. I'm going to take a little bit of, maybe I'll use the blue. I mean, I feel like I'm not going to be wearing this afterwards anyway because it's kind of messed up now. So I'm going to take a little bit of the blue neon pigment, and I'm going to use that to make an eyeliner with, just so we can kind of try out another one of these. Okay, so this is turning into such a fun color. I can't wait to put this on my eye. So I'm probably gonna have to keep my eye open for a long time because this is kind of wet, but let's go ahead and just use this as an eyeliner here. And I need to not talk because if I do that, I'm going to mess up. So this is going to be like the shadow part all done, and I think this is looking kind of cool. Like, I just wish I was a little bit better with the placement of the dots because they're just a little bit too low down. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my eyes. I'm thinking just for the hell of it, I'm going to use some blue mascara because I have it and I never use it, and I might as well since I have blue eyeliner on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll probably not do anything on my lower lash line, to be honest. I'll just keep that blank because there's so much going on my top lid right now. And I'm gonna put on a lipstick, and then I'll be back and I will show you the look, and I will kind of tell you my final thoughts on these pigments. So here's the look all complete. Obviously not very different from what you just saw, but I did put on some blue mascara. This is my Bad Gal Bang by Benefit. Love this. And then for my lips, I used the Wet n Wild High Shine Liquid Catsuit, like, I don't know, whatever this thing is called. It's in the shade Sand Nudes. And yeah, I really like this look. The only thing that I don't like is the placement of the dots, especially on this side. It's just a little bit too low, but I thought that the shadows performed so well, and I'm just so pleased. I'm so happy to have these in my collection. They are so unique to my collection, which is so cool. Obviously, I didn't really test out the neon ones, but if you want to see me pull those in like other videos, I don't think I'm going to make another separate video using these pigments because I've already made 2 videos about the brand now, and I don't want to like drag it out and make it be too much. Also, I didn't try on the lashes or the lash glue. I will show you the lashes that they sent me. These are the number 4 lashes. I do think that they are beautiful, but obviously I'm not really a lash person. And they also sent me a lash glue, which looks like this. Can also be used as a glitter primer apparently, so maybe I'll try it for that at some point. But yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to Makeup and Murder for sending me all of these beautiful products. If you haven't already seen the video that I made about the eyeshadow palettes, please go ahead and check that out because I was pleasantly surprised, and so far I have such a good impression of the brand that I can't wait to see what they do this year. I think that the concept of the brand is just so cool, and if you guys have anything from them, please let me know and tell me how you feel about them because I would love to hear your thoughts. So that's gonna be it for me trying out this brand. If you want to see some other content that I have on my channel that are maybe similar, you can click on one of these, and if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.